Most zero-turn mowers don't die because they hit a massive rock, or because the engine explodes out of nowhere. They die quietly. They die from small, invisible habits that feel completely normal to you, but are actually a slow-motion death sentence for the machine. You mow your lawn every single weekend. You park it safely in the garage, and you think you're doing everything right. But somewhere between 200 and 500 hours, reality hits. The mower starts pulling to one side. The cutting deck looks like Swiss cheese from rust. Or worse, you get a multi-thousand-dollar repair bill for a failed hydrostatic drive. Most homeowners assume that after 500 hours, a residential mower is just old and ready for the scrap heap. They think commercial guys get thousands of hours only because they buy $20,000 machines. But here is the secret. There is a small group of residential owners who routinely clear 2,000 or even 3,000 hours on the exact same mid-range machines you see at local dealers, without a single major repair. They aren't lucky, and they don't have a special engineering degree. They just understand that a lawnmower is an ecosystem. If you neglect one tiny part, it creates a domino effect that destroys the engine or transmission. Today, I'm going to show you the 5 specific, high-impact habits that take less than 15 minutes a month and cost almost nothing. If you implement these today, you will easily double or triple the lifespan of your zero-turn. Let's get into it. Let's start with the place where most structural damage begins, the cutting deck. If you clean your mower deck by tipping the machine up on its side and spraying it down with a hose, you need to stop doing that today. I know why you do it. It looks satisfying to watch the old grass slide off. But modern zero-turn engines are not designed to be flipped. When you tip a mower on its side, the oil in the crankcase shifts completely out of place. It flows right past the breather tube and floods into your air filter or carburetor. The next time you try to start it, that oil gets sucked into the combustion chamber. You're looking at heavy, blinding white smoke, a fouled spark plug, or a clogged carburetor that requires a full teardown just to get the engine to crank again. It's a massive, expensive risk just to clean out some grass. Instead, look closely at the top of your deck. If your mower was built any time in the last 20 years, it likely already has a built-in feature called a washport, and almost nobody uses it correctly. Here is the proper technique. Click your garden hose directly into this fitting while the mower is on a flat, grassy surface. Lower the deck to its lowest possible cutting height. Start the engine, sit securely on the seat, and engage the blades for just 60 seconds. The spinning blades create a high-pressure hurricane. They force the water upward, throwing it against the walls of the deck and blasting away caked-on grass and hidden moisture without ever touching your engine oil. Why is this simple habit so critical for hitting 2,000 hours? Because wet grass clippings trapped underneath a deck are essentially a rust factory. Green grass contains high amounts of acid and moisture. When it sticks to the bare steel under your deck, it stays wet for days between mows. It slowly eats through the metal, creating soft spots until the deck literally cracks, or the spindle mounts tear out entirely. Furthermore, a deck clogged with grass restricts airflow. Without proper airflow, your vacuum effect disappears, your cut quality looks terrible, and your engine has to work twice as hard, which causes it to overheat. 5 minutes with a garden hose once a week saves you a $600 to $800 deck replacement down the road. Once the deck is clean and flowing, the next silent killer is waiting right under the pulleys. Every zero-turn and quality riding mower has small metal grease fittings called zerks, sitting directly on the spindle housings. If you've owned your mower for multiple seasons and have never touched these fittings, you are living on borrowed time. The reason this habit is so commonly ignored is simple. There is no dashboard warning light for a dry bearing, and there's no strange noise, right up until the day the metal friction destroys the component. Inside that spindle housing are high-speed bearings spinning at thousands of RPMs. When you push a couple of pumps of high-temperature grease into these zerks, you aren't just lubricating them, you are renewing a pressurized protective barrier that physically keeps water, dirt, and fine grass dust out of the bearing track. If you skip this, water from your lawn or cleaning routine works its way past the factory seals. The bearing starts wearing from the inside out without giving you any obvious warning sign at all. Mechanics see this pattern constantly. A customer comes in complaining that their deck belt keeps snapping. They spend $50 on a new belt, put it on, and it snaps again 2 weeks later. When the mechanic opens up the deck, they find the real culprit staring back at them. A spindle pulley bearing that is completely seized up after years without grease. The pulley stops turning, and the belt drags against frozen metal until it literally melts and tears apart mid-mow. A basic grease gun and a tube of commercial-grade lithium grease cost about $25 to $30 total at any local hardware store. 2 or 3 pumps per spindle, once at the start of the season and once before winter storage, is all it takes. Just remember, don't overdo it. If you pump until grease comes flying out of the sides, you can actually blow out the rubber seals and cause the exact bearing failure you are trying to prevent. It's a tiny investment of time that protects hundreds of dollars in parts and labor. This next habit protects your engine from a frustrating and completely avoidable failure that leaves thousands of homeowners staring at a dead engine every spring. It involves the physics of your fuel system. Most residential zero-turn mowers utilize a gravity-fed fuel system. Unlike your car, which uses a complex electronic fuel pump, a lawnmower tank sits physically higher than the engine. Fuel naturally flows downhill through the fuel lines and into the carburetor bowl whenever there is an opening for it. When the engine is running, the system works flawlessly. But the problem shows up once the mower is parked, especially over the long winter months in a garage or shed that swings through hot and cold temperatures. Inside your carburetor is a tiny component called a needle valve, controlled by a plastic float. Its job is to shut off the incoming fuel when the bowl is full. But over time, modern ethanol gasoline degrades the tiny rubber tip on that needle, or a tiny speck of dirt gets trapped under it, preventing it from sealing perfectly. Because the fuel tank is sitting above the engine, gravity keeps pushing gas down the line. With the needle valve slightly open, fuel slowly leaks into the carburetor bowl, overflows into the intake manifold, and quietly seeps past the open intake valve into the engine cylinder. From there, it drains down past your piston rings and dumps directly into the engine oil crankcase. Repair shops see the result of this every single spring. An owner pulls the dipstick after winter storage, and the oil smells strongly of raw gasoline. Sometimes the crankcase is so flooded that the oil level is double what it should be. If you try to start an engine in this condition, one of 2 things happens. Either the cylinder hydraulically locks, bending the piston rod instantly, or the gas-diluted oil fails to lubricate the bearings, destroying the entire engine block within 10 minutes of mowing. The fix takes exactly 2 seconds. Look along your fuel line between the tank and the engine and locate the inline fuel shutoff valve. Turn it to the closed position every single time you finish mowing for the day, and absolutely make sure it is closed before winter storage. By turning this valve, you physically block the gravity feed path. Even if your carburetor needle valve is completely ruined, the gas cannot physically move past the manual valve. It costs $0, takes no skill, and acts as the ultimate insurance policy for your engine's internal components. Habit number 4 is something almost every homeowner notices, shrugs off, and assumes is purely cosmetic. Battery terminal corrosion. We've all seen that weird white or bluish crust growing on the lead posts of the battery. It looks unpleasant, but because the mower still fires up, we think it's not an urgent issue. That assumption costs more people a working mower and leads to more wasted money than almost anything else on this list. That crust isn't just sitting on top of the metal. It is an active chemical barrier that physically restricts the flow of electricity through the connection. A zero-turn mower relies on a very small alternator system to send power back into the battery while the blades are spinning. If that corrosion is present, the battery never receives a full charge while you mow. Furthermore, when you turn the key to start the mower next weekend, the battery tries to dump hundreds of cold cranking amps through that corroded connection. The resistance chokes the power, resulting in a clicking sound or a slow, painful crank. This is exactly why so many frustrating no-start complaints trace back to a battery that tests perfectly fine once the terminals are actually cleaned properly. Owners end up spending $80 to $100 on a replacement battery they never actually needed, simply because they didn't clear the crust. The fix is incredibly simple and costs next to nothing. Mix a tablespoon of standard baking soda with a tiny bit of water in a cup to form a thick paste. Dab it onto the corroded terminals and watch it fizz as it neutralizes the acid. Scrub it with an old toothbrush or a wire brush. Rinse it with clean water and dry it thoroughly. Finally, smear a thin coat of plain old petroleum jelly or Vaseline over the clean metal terminals. The jelly seals out oxygen and moisture, preventing the corrosion from ever coming back. The entire process takes less than 3 minutes, utilizes items already sitting in your kitchen cabinet, and ensures your starting system stays flawless for years. Finally, we have reached the habit that carries the single heaviest financial consequence on a zero-turn mower: checking the hydraulic fluid level inside your hydrostatic transaxles. Unlike a tractor or a standard riding mower that uses a single-gear transmission, a zero-turn utilizes 2 independent hydraulic drive units, one for each rear wheel. The fluid inside these units is not just a basic lubricant sitting around doing nothing important. It is the literal lifeblood of the entire drive system. This fluid serves 3 critical functions. It lubricates the high-speed internal piston pumps. It cools the system down under heavy load, and it physically transfers the hydraulic power that allows you to steer and drive the machine. When you run a zero-turn for hours on a hot summer day, that fluid gets incredibly hot. Over time, heat cycles cause the fluid to break down and lose its viscosity. Even worse, minor seal leaks can cause the fluid level to drop completely unnoticed. When your hydro fluid runs low or degrades, air works its way into the internal pumps. The consequences start small. You'll notice the mower feels slightly sluggish on hills, or it starts drifting or pulling to one side because one pump is weaker than the other. If you ignore it, the internal components will experience metal-on-metal friction and literally grind themselves to dust. Dealers and service technicians are brutally honest about this. A routine hydraulic fluid top-off or fluid change costing under $200 can easily save you from a multi-thousand-dollar disaster. Replacing a blown set of commercial-grade transaxles can cost anywhere from $1,500 to over $2,500. Which is often more than a used residential mower is even worth. What makes this so dangerous is how invisible the problem stays until it becomes severe. There is no dashboard warning light telling you your hydro fluid is low. Most owners never even learn where the reservoir is located. If your mower has a visible expansion tank with a sight glass or a dipstick under the seat, check the level while the machine is completely cold and parked on a perfectly level surface. If your model uses a budget, sealed lifetime transmission, like the Hydro Gear ZT2200, you can't easily change the fluid, but you must inspect the axle shafts regularly for any signs of wet oil leaks, and have a professional tech inspect the units during your seasonal tune-up. Keeping your hydro system clean and full is the ultimate golden ticket to clearing 2,000 hours. When you look at these 5 habits individually, they aren't massive, difficult chores. They don't require you to be a master mechanic, and they don't require a single expensive tool sitting in a professional toolbox. What they require is simply knowing they exist, and actually taking the 15 minutes a month to perform them. Rinse the deck through the washport instead of tipping it. Give the spindles a pump of grease. Turn that fuel valve off. Keep the battery terminals clean, and look at your hydro fluid reservoirs. This simple routine is exactly what separates the owner who has to buy a brand new mower every 4 seasons because of a broken machine and a broken bank account, from the smart owner whose zero-turn quietly glides right past 2,000 hours, running just as sharp and powerful as the day it rolled off the showroom floor. If you're currently in the market for a new machine and want to know which zero-turn brands are actually built to survive this long, and which entry-level big-box store models you should absolutely avoid in 2026, click on this next video right here where I break down the exact models. Tap that video, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a guide, and I'll see you right there.